Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I have some iRacing. As you can tell, this is not a live commentary. There is the iRacing logo down the bottom right. I actually didn't plan on uploading this video. I didn't even record this because I didn't plan on uploading it. Because yeah, I only did this race. I think it was my last iRacing race actually that this car and track was in. Yeah, we get a little bit caught up in this first corner. That guy that I got tangled up with there went a bit wide. He actually took me out my first attempt on this track as well, because this is my second attempt on this track, an hour or two later than the other one. Because yeah, the same guy took me out and almost took me out for the second time. Luckily I got away. But yeah, the reason I'm uploading this is because it's a really good race. It's probably my best race so far. Not my best finish so far, but I would say definitely my best races in how I raced. So yeah, I went into this with a best time of I think about a 154, and I could consistently do about 154.5s. And as much as you can't see it because I don't have the black box or anything up on this one, I was doing 153s the whole race, and I think I think my best time under it was like a 152.8, which is like well and truly a best time. Which obviously I have draft, which helps, but still, I was racing really well, and I had some really good competition. Unfortunately, because it's not live recorded, you can't see in the actual mirror. Obviously you can see in the car mirrors, so keep your eye on them. Because you'll see this guy in the Marlboro, is that how you pronounce it? The livery behind me, the cigarette company one, the red and white one, it's iconic. But yeah, he's really close to my skill level, and we battle it out the whole race. And this guy in front of me is pretty close as well, and he's always in sight. And yeah, it's just a really good race. It was really enjoyable. So yeah, that's why I'm uploading this race. I'm not going to be commentating the whole way through, I'm just going to dive in and out. But yeah, for a bit of a background on this race, I was the lowest I rating in the race. And it was the top split. So keep it, my I rating I started out was about 1500 I think. Unfortunately it's been dropping down a bit because I've been taken out twice. I've done 4 Star Mazda races, and 2 of those, like half of those races, I have been crashed out. So, a bit disappointing. Always on the first... Oh, actually, no, not always on the first corner. Usually it's on the first corner, but... yeah, I think the other time, the first attempt I had at this one, some guy tried... He got a really good start, so he tried going 3 wide at the start of the race, and 3 wide into the first chicane on this, yeah, it doesn't work. So that ended badly. I survived that though and kept going with a little bit of damage, and got taken out by that guy who almost took me out at the start of this race. He did give me a bit of damage. There is a bit of front wing damage that I noticed at the end of the race, but I didn't notice the car behaving any differently. But I do wonder if it had a little bit less top speed or something like that. But who knows? There's no real way to know. But it felt okay. But yeah, I've been driving the Star Mazda a fair bit. I've been practicing actually the next track, which is Interlagos as well. And oh man, I love the Star Mazda. I don't understand how some people struggle to drive it. I just feel like I know exactly what the car's doing all the time. I know if it's starting to go a little bit sideways, that sort of thing. And I wonder if maybe it's because it's an open cockpit one. Because I've been driving the GT1 cars a little bit, and I've been really struggling with them just because I don't know what they're doing. I don't know when they're about to go sideways and stuff like that. So, and it might be, I don't like to blame hardware, but maybe it's because I've got a pretty small monitor, and you know, it just doesn't give me the feedback that I need. And I only have a G27, obviously the force feedback in this game isn't brilliant, so... But anyways, I do plan on picking up an Oculus Rift when it comes out, or the HTC Vive, whatever it's called. Whatever one looks like it's going to be better, or at least better value for money. So hopefully then I'll have a bit of a better option. So yeah, I do plan on running Star Mazda, hopefully this whole season. There is 1 week where I'm going to be away, which is going to be a bit troublesome. I'm going to have like 2 days to actually do, I think it's the Mid-Ohio week where I have to do that track, which is a bit of a problem because I don't know Mid-Ohio. But yeah, I'm committed to trying to do every single week, because there's a lot of tracks in iRacing that I don't know, and that's the main reason I don't drive that. I don't actually race that much in iRacing. You know, I need to sit down and really learn a track a week kind of thing. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to bring you some GT1 races as well. But yeah, as I said, I'm struggling a little bit this week, particularly with Watkins Glen. It's a really hard track, and it's not a track I've ever driven before. So yeah, if it was something like Monza, I'd probably have no issue. I could probably jump in and get it down pat pretty quick, because I know Monza pretty well now. And yeah, I just need to get to the point where I know all the tracks pretty well, and I can pretty much jump in whenever I want and do whatever race I want. So yeah, hopefully I'll be doing a fair bit of that this season. So hopefully you guys are interested in that, because I love driving the Star Mazda. Oh, I absolutely love this car. So yeah, and if I do plan on doing other races and not actually recording them, I will still record them. If I don't plan on uploading them, I'll still record them, just so if in case it is a brilliant race and I do upload it, you guys will have like the black box down the bottom right and see the proper mirror and that sort of thing, and see what lap times I'm doing, because I know it's kind of frustrating not being able to see that in this one. So I'll work on that in future. what just happened there kind of reminds me of that Race 07 video that I made, funnily enough, also on Monza. Basically, I talked a fair bit about consistency and how important consistency is in racing. You can be faster than the guy in front of you, but if you can't keep consistent laps, he's going to probably end up beating you. And in this regard, this guy behind me is probably about, we're about the same skill level, but he did manage to get past me sometimes because of draft, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's about nailing that corner after you pass them, even if you've been put offline, that sort of thing. That's how you retain your position. And this guy really struggled with that. So luckily, I've been dealing a lot better with pressure. I remember like when I first started out in the rookie series, I'd get in the Mazda MX-5, and if I'd overtake someone or if I had someone really close behind me, I'd always drive it significantly worse. I'd get distracted and nervous and make mistakes. Luckily, yeah, I've kind of learnt to not do that now. Part of that's probably a fair bit of iRacing, and part of that is a lot of just practicing offline. I do suggest doing a lot of offline practice as well in other games. Obviously, you can't race against AI and iRacing, but yeah, games like Race Room Racing Experience have some pretty good AI, and honestly, like R Factor, GameStop Car, and Assetto Corsa, they all have like functional enough AI. Don't do Project Cars. You don't want to do that. Don't do that to yourself. But all of them, I mean, if you practice with AI on the right level, it will give you a lot of practice driving around people and dealing with pressure when someone's right behind you, nailing your braking zones still, and yeah. And I also encourage, like, if anyone's out there and they find they struggle a little bit when they're driving around people, in practice driving offline a little bit. So, you know, if there's a corner which comes off a long straight, practice taking that as if you're on the inside line. Or practice doing that as if you might be going into that corner too wide. Just, you know, because if you have that knowledge, you're going to have the advantage over someone you're passing or someone who's trying to pass you in that situation in race. But it's the sort of thing that people don't think to practice in their private practice, or a lot of the time even open practice. I really like to try and race around people in open practice as well. It kind of annoys some people, but I mean, if you are annoyed by people driving around you and racing you in open practice, then go to a closed practice session. That's the point of the open practice sessions, is that you can practice racing around people. And I've had some really fun little duels in practice. Some of my best racing against people has been in practice, and it's a lot of fun. So I do encourage you guys to do that as well. and that's why I encourage you guys to practice racing offline. As in racing, when I say racing offline, offline as in not on the correct driving line. Going into corner 1, especially on Monza, if you don't know how to take that too wide, you're going to have crashes probably, because at some point in the race you're very likely to be too wide. And both the people battling for third and the people battling for first, both on the same corner on the same lap, collided, and people battling for third both got taken out. One of the guys battling for first got taken out, and all of a sudden I was put in second, defending second off the guy behind me, which is a bit of a jump. I was really hoping throughout this race that I'd be in the top 5, and all of a sudden, you know, I was kind of defending my position, my 5th position, because that's where I was. By the way, I started in 6th in this race. I should have said that at the start of the race. That's when I qualified in 6th. I was a bit nervous as well because I qualified a time that was way quicker than I could hold consistently. Or I thought that I could hold consistently. But yeah, this guy behind me, all of a sudden we were battling for second, and all of a sudden I really wanted to get second, not third, because silver's way cooler than bronze. I didn't think I had a chance of getting gold unless the guy messed up, so I wasn't going to push ridiculously hard, because I mean he was like a good 6 seconds ahead. You can't just make 6 seconds up by driving well. So yeah. And yeah, I didn't mess the last corner up, so you'll see that this guy, well, you probably won't be able to see because you don't see black box or anything, but I did beat this guy. We were very close though. We were only a few tenths out, and it was awesome. The guy apologised at the end of the race for knocking me a little bit into into turn 1 on one of the corners, but I don't know if you'll be able to see that in the replay because I'm pretty sure it was just latency. I didn't notice any damage on the car or when I was driving, but it was still a 4X, so unfortunately I lost a little bit of safety rating, but losing a little bit of safety rating for a race like that is worth it. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this race, even though it wasn't live commentated and you can't see black box and that sort of thing. In future I'll try and fix that a little bit, but yeah, until next time, goodbye.